So as you know, I answer questions that my Patreon supporters give me. And one of them that I want to address now is talking about how to deal with loss or how to manage the fear of losing a loved one. So the question was proposed that basically this person has a young child and a partner and they're feeling paranoid about losing them. And also, they don't want to sort of become overbearing or over cautious or over paranoid about them. And they wanted my sort of insight or response to how I deal with that. So as you know, I've got a 1.5-year-old son, and the mother of my son is my wife. So I can very much relate to this question and this fear because it would be devastating to lose someone that's that close to me. It just would be soul crushing. But the question is how do you live with that fear and yet still keep, still take action, still keep moving, and not let that fear overcome you? So for me, there's multiple components to this answer. The first one is that I attempt to live every moment of my life with my family, when I'm with them in the present moment. I try to be there, be present, and not sort of be absent-minded. Try and not be on my phone. Try and not be thinking about other things. When I'm in the presence of the people that I'm in the presence of, I try and be there mentally. So that way that I know that if something does happen, or when they inevitably do pass, the time that I've spent with them has been real time. It's been actual real connection time. So at the moment my son's obsessed with guitar, so he always pulls me into the bedroom and gets me to play guitar for him. And it's I'm not good, but I take that time out of whatever I'm doing and use it as a way to connect with him, because right now that's something that he and I can connect with. And I try to take every opportunity to do that. So the first step in my mind would be, when you're with your child or when you're with your partner, be there mentally with them, be present in that moment and not be thinking about the future, not be thinking about other anxieties and other things that you're worried about, the other things coming along. Be there in the moment. The second part of this, for me, involves addressing what anxiety is. I like to think that anxiety is basically a liar. How many times have you thought something, anxiously, worried about something, and it's not come true? I would guess that it's the vast, vast majority of times. Think about it. Think about what anxiety is. It's warning you about a possible future that could arise. But it does it in a way that it says, hey, watch out for this, watch out for this, watch out for this, showing you all of the different possible futures. Most likely, the worst case scenario won't come true. Most likely, 99% of the things that you're anxious about won't come true. Now, this doesn't stop the inevitability of life. People will move on and people will pass. But what being aware of your anxiety does is it makes you realize that when these thoughts pop up, they're not predictions of the future. They're predictions of possible futures, but it's important to realize that only one future will come. There's only one future that you're going to live. So whilst there is a chance that your son may pass or your husband may pass in the near future, chances are that it won't happen. Chances are that you'll keep living your life as you have been living it, and you won't have to face those directly, because what's the probability? With all that in mind, I would actually suggest that you may need to speak to a therapist if your worry or paranoia or anxiety is causing you to be detrimentally impacted throughout the day. I see a therapist and I can't live without them. The reason why they're good is you express it, you're getting the thoughts out of your mind and expressing it out loud, and the person that you're talking to is trained to deal with your problems. They've seen your problems before, they've seen what you're going through, they've seen that anxiety, and they know the best solutions to those problems. I see one for myself and my problems, I express what I'm worried about, and then they help me with their answers that they've seen work on other people that are dealing with similar issues to what I am. Some people do have hesitation of speaking to a psychologist or a therapist, and for other people it might not be affordable, or it might not be available where you live. If that's your case, I'll suggest starting with a writing therapy. That means get a pen, get a paper, and just write down how you're feeling. Get it on the page. Trust me, if you get it out of your head and put it onto the paper, you'll be in a better mental state because you're no longer worrying about it. It's no longer sort of impacting your mind. It's expressed, it's controlled, it's thought through, and you're able to look back upon it. If you do this for a few days, or you just keep sort of that journal entry going, you'll start to notice a reduction of anxiety. You will start to feel better. Trust me, give it a try. If you can, speak to a therapist, but if you can't, start writing down how you're feeling, because the act of getting it out onto a page will definitely help you. So thanks for the question. I really appreciate you asking it, as well as for your support on Patreon. And for anyone out there that's considering supporting me, head over to my Patreon at patreon.com/ZachPPhillips. I'm only asking for a $1 contribution. That's the smallest amount. The reason why I'm asking for such a small amount on your end is because it'll basically be unnoticeable. But if a bunch of you guys get together on my end, it will make a massive difference. It'll mean that I'll be able to do a bunch more blogs, podcasts, videos, and books that hopefully you're enjoying and want to see more of. So head over, support me if you can, and yeah, thank you.